to a maths lesson with Mrs. Patnell. Last week we were learning subtraction by counting back, and then this week we've started a new topic. So we had a lesson yesterday on 3D solid shapes, okay? So not shapes that are flat like a pancake, they are 2D shapes. But 3D solid shapes are ones that you can solidly pick up and take hold of. There's nothing flat about these guys, okay? They are 3D solid shapes, and that's what we are looking at all week this week, okay? Hopefully you had a go at making your own yesterday, maybe with Play-Doh. Maybe you had some clay or some salt dough you could make them with, in which case you probably still got them with you, which will be helpful this week to have them with you. I'm going to do lessons that you can use mine on the screen to help you do it. There's nothing quite like picking up these solid shapes and having a good feel of them. So if you've made your own and they are there with you, that's fantastic. So well done, you guys. Right, okay, we are going to do some counting though to begin our lesson. I have got my 100 square here. And we are going to count in fives to begin with. So we're adding 5 on each time. We will start with the number 5 and jump on 5 each time. We will say all the numbers that we normally go high for and all the numbers that we go low for. Okay, do you think you can do it? Last week, well not last week, I think it might have been yesterday, but I filmed it last week. I can't remember, I think we got to 80. I'm sure we did. So I think we'll probably count in fives to 80. Okay, let's give it a go. So are you ready with our jazzy tune? And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Whew, nearly at 100. Wowzers. Let's do it one more time. If you got your 100 square there with you, fantastic. If you've coloured in all the numbers that end in a 5 and all the numbers that end in a 0, you will find this fantastically easy. Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Well done. Bit pitchy there today, sorry about that. So remember that all the ones that end in a 0, when you say those ones, always T, like a cup of tea on the end. So when it ends in a 0, 6T, 50, like a cup of tea. Right, okay, what else have I got planned for you? Let's do a little bit of counting backwards, okay? So I'm going to point to a number, say that number. I want you to count backwards for the next 4 numbers going back, okay? If you think you're amazing at this, and I have seen some amazing stuff on Tapestry for last week and counting backwards, then close your eyes. Don't look at my 100 square, just listen to the number I'm saying and then count backwards 4 numbers without even peeping at the 100 square. If you need the 100 square, that is absolutely fine. Counting back can take ages to learn, so it's fine if you want to look, but I leave it up to you. Test yourself, okay? So I'm going to say one now and be pointing, so if you want to close your eyes, do. Can you count back from the number 6? Nice one to begin with. So say 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Fabulous if you got that right. Let's say, close your eyes if you don't want to look. Let's count back from 9. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Maybe you've got 5 then. Let's try it again. Close your eyes if you don't want to use the 100 square. Can you count back from 10? So let's do it together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's go a little higher now. Let's push ourselves because we all like counting back from 10, but it's a little harder from 20 down to 11. So close your eyes if you want to. You might find you need them open for the teen numbers. So can you count back from 15? 15. do it together. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Okay, let's go with this time. Let's go with 19. So 19, keep counting backwards. And now let's do it together. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Fantastic if you got that right. I'm going to throw a real trickster in now for those that are finding it a bit easy. Let's do it from somewhere in the 20s, okay? So let's count back from, and close your eyes if you don't want to see, count back from 26. So what number comes before 26? What number is one less than 26? Okay, I've given you a little chance to count back by yourself then. Let's do it together. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. It's quite easy. You've just got to remember the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, just like you would if you were counting back from 10, but remember to say 20 in front. So 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. So it's just the same as counting back from 10 really, but remembering to stick the 20 on the beginning, 22. Okay. Right, I want to go through the months of the year again with you. So I have my poster here. I'm going to stick it up on here. Will my tape reach it? Just about. Okay, can we see all of those? I think we can. Hopefully it's clear enough at home on your bigger screens than mine. So, months of the year. We sang this, I think it was last week. It's the first time I've really looked at it. These are all the months that happen in the year, okay? There are 12 months in total, all right? And different weather happens in each month, okay? So in this country, this is matching the weather we would have in these months, okay? It is at the moment January, the very start of this new year, and it should be, or it can often be snowy. And it actually was at the weekend. I actually managed to build a snowman. So that is quite right, the weather can be snowy. If not always snowy, then at least very cold, okay? Now if we hop on to the next month, which is February, we can see we could still expect some snow. Could still happen all the way next month, and still very cold. It's not going to start warming up until we jump to March, okay, which is 1-2 months away, and then all of a sudden it gets a bit warmer, and flowers notice that it's getting warmer, so they start popping out on the trees, which is fantastic. I really look forward to that after a long winter. So let's have a go at singing the months of the year. You won't get them right in exactly the right order again because we've only learned it a few times, but be really listening in. Join in where you can. Listen out for the month that has your birthday in it. Okay. January, February, March and April, May, June, July and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Let's try that one more time. Might get a few more in this time. January, February, March and April, May, June, July and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Fantastic, well done. Okay, I'll leave that there. Now I'm going to tilt my camera down now because we're going to do some work on the table. So let's bring it down like this. Okay, so you're not going to be able to see me, but never mind. I'm going to show you this bowl first of all. Here is my bowl. We're going to do a spot of estimating, okay? So we did this as well, and certainly if you're in my class, we've done this a lot for many, many weeks. So have a look. I've got coloured frogs again this week. Don't be counting them, okay? I won't flash them for too long because you'll start counting them. Remember with estimating, it's your best guess. So I want you to be asking yourself questions when you look at it, not trying to count them because they are a little bit on top of one another. So it is quite tricky to estimate these frogs. But be asking yourself questions like, what would 10 look like in that bowl? Do I feel like that looks like 10 frogs? If 10 sounds like too many, I'm looking for a smaller number than 10. Do I want it as small as 5? What would 5 frogs look like? Should it be somewhere between 5 and 10? And then think of the numbers between 5 and 10. I want you to be asking yourself these questions. You could say, does it look like there could be 15 in there? Think, what would 15 frogs look like? Do you think there could be 15? Okay, I want you to tell your estimate to your adult now so they can hear what you said. You can write it on your board if you want to. That will help you with your number formation. Now we're going to count how many are in there, okay? Now I'm going to estimate, looking at that I think there's 10. I think there's actually 10 frogs in there is my estimate. So let's see if any of us are right or extremely close. Remember, your estimate is your best guess, so I don't want to see any 120s because there's no way I could fit 120 frogs in there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 frogs were in my bowl. Well, I said 10, so I'm quite pleased with myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back, okay? And if you said 11, oh my gosh, that's an amazing estimate. If you equally said 10 or 9, fantastic. If you said the other side of 11, so if you said 12 or 13, fantastic as well, okay? So anywhere close to 11 will be really marvellous estimating. Okay, now we did start looking at 3D shapes yesterday. I shall lay some out here on the table. We spoke about their names, which I don't expect you to have remembered all already. Some might stay in a little more than others. This one often stays in more than others, this one, because it looks like an ice cream cone. So, and others don't always stay in so well. Okay, so I'm just going to lay some out here. Whoop, oh, he's a roller, isn't he? Is he going to stay still? I might have to back him up with my whiteboard wiper there. And there's this one. Oh, look at that one. Yep. And there's this one. Oh, yes, yeah. Okay. So let's have a quick look to see if we can remember any of their names by looking at things like the faces, the things that are looking at you. They might be flat, they might be curvy. Think about what shape had flat sides, what shape were those sides, because they have 2D shapes. Sorry, they have 2D shaped faces, a lot of them, okay? So think which one had like square faces, which one had circle faces. See if you can remember any from that lesson when you sat and made them yesterday, hopefully, or at least watched me talk through them. So I'm going to start with this one. Circle face there goes to a point and a curved face. This is, of course, my cone. This one here, oh, curved all the way around it, just one whole curved face. That was a sphere. And then this one, let's go with this one next. Circle shaped face, and then one curved face all the way around the middle. Looks like a tin of beans or a can of Coke. That is a cylinder. This one, oh, we looked at this one first. All of the faces were square shaped, no matter if you went on the sides, went underneath, they are all square shaped faces. This one, and there were 6 of those faces, this one is called a cube. A cube, looked like a dice, remember that's a cube. Getting to the trickier ones, okay, these are somewhat tricky. I'm really happy if you can remember sphere. Oh, missed up a cuboid, hang on a minute. Nearly left him off the side of the table. Here he is, he has some square shaped faces on either end, but then the ones going around the middle are rectangle shaped faces like this, okay? This is, of course, a bit like a cube that's been stretched out. So that's probably why it has a similar sounding name to the beginning. It's a cuboid, okay? Remember that one has rectangular shaped faces. Could all be rectangular, but this one has a couple of square ones on the end. Cuboid. Trickier ones, triangle shaped faces, but then squares or rectangles going round the outside. Triangular prism. Tricky one, that. This one is also a prism, but you have to look to see what shape this flat face is on this side here. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to this face. So that is a pentagon. So it's a pentagonal prism, okay? So that's all of their names again. Now I want you to be thinking about what their faces look like. That's what today's lesson is about. Can you describe the faces of a 3D shape, okay? Be thinking about a cube. Look at those faces. We are thinking about if a face is a, can you see that okay? A flat face. Does it have flat faces or does it have curved, with a curved faces, okay? So remember, the faces are the bits that are looking out at you, okay? These are faces looking out at you from the 3D shape. Are they curved faces or are they flat faces? I've underlined the k on curved to remind you that's what that sign says. And this one you can blend, but I've underlined the f to remind you that's flat faces. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move these guys onto my chair and I'll bring one over one at a time, and you are going to help me sort them into 2 hoops today, looking at their faces. So that's how we're sorting them, to do with their faces. So I've got one sorting hoop here. I'm going to wrestle it into a circle shape. There we are. One circle. Okay, this is one sorting circle. I'm going to put that on the table. Might have to tilt my screen a little more for you to see them. And that's as low as I can go. Okay, so that is sorting circle 1. Sorting circle 2. Let me wrestle this into a circle shape. Okay, there's my other circle. Now I'm going to put that one there. Okay, they are going to overlap a bit here in the middle. Look at this space. It's in the blue circle and it's in the yellow circle. It overlaps. It's in both. Let's put my signs up. So the yellow hoop is for curved faces and the blue hoop is for flat faces, okay? So all of the shapes that have just flat faces need to go in this moon shape here. It looks a bit like a moon, can you see? Like this, when we have a crescent moon. So all of the flat faces need to go in this moon shape, okay? All of the ones that have just curved faces, no other faces that are flat, just curved ones, need to go in this moon shape here. Because this middle space that's yellow and blue needs to be for the 3D shapes that have curved faces and some flat faces. They have both. So if they have both, they go in the middle where it's blue and yellow sorting circle around the outside. If it's just curved on this moon shape, if it's just flat in this moon shape. I want you to give me a hand. Gets us really looking at the faces on our 3D shapes, really thinking about how to describe them. Okay, here's our first one. Okay, this is a cylinder. It has circle faces on either side. It has this kind of face going all the way around the edge. So you've got to ask yourself now, does it have flat faces? Does it have curved faces? Where do we need to put it? In the curved, in the flat, or does it have both? Should it go in the middle? Have a think. You be calling out to the screen now and saying where it should go. But I'm going to say now that it has flat, circle-shaped faces. They are flat. You can see that. But it also has, look, a curved face all the way around the middle. So I can't just put it in curved because it has some flat circle faces. I can't just put it in flat because it has the curved one in the middle. I have to put it in the middle here where it's for both curved and flat. So if you said in the middle, fantastic. Okay, next one. My cone. It has a circle-shaped face here. It has this kind of face around here. Okay, don't get too worried about the point, because that's not a face, that's a point. Think about the faces. Should it go here in the curved? Should it go here in the flat? Or should it go where there's both? So my cone has both. It's got a flat circle shaped face, look how flat that is, but it also has the curved face around here. So that also needs to go in the middle. It has both. Well done if you said in the middle. Fantastic. Okay, let's try this one. This one that looks like a ball. This is our sphere, and then we've got to decide, are we putting it in just curved? Are we putting it in just flat face? Or does it have flat and curved faces? Look at the sphere. Where should it be? It should be in just the curve. That's all it's got, is one continuous curvy face. No flat ones at all. So in you go, sphere. Will you sit still? Yes, there it is in our curved section. Okay, next one up. We have this one that looks like a dice. It has all square faces. Are those faces flat and not curvy? Where should my cube go in our sorting circles? Should it go in the curved? Should it go where there's both? Do it have curved and flat faces? Or has it just got all flat ones? A cube has all flat ones, all the same, exactly the same square flat faces. In you go, our first one in our all flat faces section. Okay, let's have a look at a cuboid. It's like a stretched out cube because it has some rectangular shaped faces here. Okay, so we've got those. Let's have a think about those faces. On the end, let's have a think about those faces. Does it have curved sides? Does it have curved and flat? Or is it just flat? It is just flat. So if you said just flat, give yourself a pat on the back. It has squares and rectangular faces, but they're all flat. So that's where it goes. No curved faces for the cuboid. Okay, two more left to do. I'm moving on to my two last trickier shapes here that I really don't mind if you don't quite get the name for these yet, but I must throw them in just to give you a stretch. Okay, this one has a triangle shaped face at that end and that end, so it gives us a clue that it is a triangular prism. Now, look at those faces. Oh, some square ones there. I think it's a square rather than a rectangle, possibly. And triangle ones there. Are they curved or are they flat? What do you think? They are different shapes on the end and in the middle, but they are all flat. They're all flat. So another one to go in our flat section. Make room for our triangular prism in there as well. You still see my flat sign? Last one. This is the one that has the faces on the end that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. If it's 5-sided, it's a pentagon. So we have a clue by the shape of the face that it's a pentagonal prism. Let's have a look at it. Oh, pentagons, but flat or curvy? Rectangles going around the middle, but flat or curvy. Where does the pentagonal prism belong? Is it all curved faces? Is it curved and flat? Or is it just flat faces, the pentagonal prism? Yeah, it has different shaped ones, but they are all flat and no curvy. So the pentagonal prism will go in here with the others. That's a bit of sorting for you there. Well done if you managed to do that, okay? You managed to get just the one in just all curved. Our sphere is the only one with all continuous curved face. There are a cylinder and a cone that have flat and curvy faces. I'm sitting them on their flat faces because it's easier. If I put it on their curved ones, they might start, look, rolling away. So that's the interesting thing about curved faces. You can roll shapes with curved faces. Let's see about our cone. Let's have a look. Yeah, I like it rolls, but round in a circle because it has that point at the top. So curved faces seem to roll, whereas the flat faces, they just sit very still. Have a look over here at our flat faces. Our cuboid sitting very still on its flat faces. Pentagonal prism not rolling anywhere. Cube and triangular prism sitting very still on their flat faces. So that is the thing about our 3D shapes. if we're not sure about the faces, we can try and roll them and find out if their faces are curved or flat. Quite handy to know. Okay, so let me tilt the camera up a little bit to say my goodbyes to you. Right, so that's the end of today's lesson. So if you want and you've made your own 3D shapes, you could get some circles. You can make circles with anything. You can wrap a towel around in a circle, a piece of string, overlap your sorting circles, give them signs for curved and flat faces, and have a go at sorting your Play-Doh 3D shapes or your salt dough 3D shapes into the right places, okay? You might want to get very clever and not have flat and curved faces in your sorting circles. You might want to go for something else, like 3D shapes with square faces and 3D shapes with no square shaped faces, okay? And then there'd be some that have square shaped and some not square shaped, and they would go in the middle. Sounds tricky, but have a go. You can change your signs if you want, or you can stick to the same as mine and repeat what we've just done with your 3D homemade shapes. Okay, and I will see you again tomorrow for another session on 3D shape. Bye bye then.